Hello there, it's me again, doing another video today. Just letting you know, this video isn't a wrestling shoot. It has nothing to do with wrestling, if you see my videos. This is a video response to Darkness the Curse about what he said about Final Fantasy VII, that it was overrated, and I want to counter what he said about that. He made this video about a month ago, and this is something I've been meaning to do, but I want to do it, as late as it is. Alright, you complain about how the graphics and all the characters in the game look blocky. But you gotta understand, this is the first time that something like this, for an RPG, something like this has been done in 3D. Back in 1997. I mean, I know now the graphics aren't something good to look at. But you gotta understand, for its time, this was good. For its time. And as advanced as technology was at that time, and as advanced as technology is at the current day today, technology is always going to be limited to some degree. And it was limited then, if they had the ability just to change what they did, make sure that characters aren't blocky, that they look like Legos, as you say it, I'm pretty sure they would change it. But, maybe at that time they weren't able to change it, but this was good for its time. Like I said, it was good for its time. This is something like this, this shift from a 2D environment that had RPGs in the past, from a 3D environment. So this was just, that's what Final Fantasy VII was. It was just the first jump into 3D. Okay, you say that you don't like Barret because he has a gun arm. It's called having an imagination. You can't just have your characters with the same old things. Why not a gun arm? I mean, it's interesting. It's unique. I mean, I like the gun arm. I mean, a friend of mine who was a big fan of 7, he liked the gun arm. Maybe it's your opinion. I mean, you just can't have, what do you want to have? A sword? A knife? Something? I mean, each character had something that was unique. I mean, Cloud had the sword. Tifa had her gloves. Red 13 had a headdress. Cid had a spear. Yuffie had a ninja stars. Vincent had a shotgun. Or any kind of gun. Kate Sith had a megaphone. So each character has to be unique. They have to have their own kind of weapons, their own personal things that make them unique. And just letting you know, Red 13 is a wolf. He howls like a wolf. I mean, all the scenes you see him howl, he's a wolf. I mean, I don't know how you get the idea that he's a cat. He's a wolf. I thought the plot was deep. Very interesting plot. I mean, if you don't like the plot, if your friends don't like the plot, well then, that's you. And also, I still really think that most of what you're saying is your own opinion. And I did like the idea that you liked Final Fantasy IX, that Final Fantasy IX was your most favorite Final Fantasy. Personally, it's one of my favorite Final Fantasies. I liked it a lot better than 7. I did even though 7 was good, but I still liked 9 better. We gotta understand about every Final Fantasy, the creators are gonna do something different. They wanna go out in a direction that no one hasn't gone. Well, you get what I'm trying to say. Got to sneeze there. They want to go into directions. Okay, we already done this. Let's try something else. That's what I'm trying to say. They're just going to. And Darkness. This is one thing I agree with you on. I do think Final Fantasy VII is overrated to an extent. I think it's a great game. Don't get me wrong, but I think it just gets more praise than it deserves. That's what I really think. Okay, and this whole thing really isn't uncommon that, some people might say that this Final Fantasy is better than this Final Fantasy, or that Final Fantasy is better than this Final Fantasy. This has been happening for like a while, so this doesn't surprise me very much. Personally, I was never a big fan of 10. I got Final Fantasy 12 for my birthday, which was almost a year ago, and I barely played that. I haven't gone like 5 minutes into that, but that's just me. And before I finish, this is to Big Al 2K6, I believe. They are planning, Square Enix was planning a sequel another sequel in the Chrono series, but a few years back it was scrapped. A lot of fans are writing emails to Square Enix trying to revive it. I'm not a big fan of the Chrono series, but that's what I've heard. That they did plan one, but they scrapped it. fans are just asking for the creators just to revive it, please. And that's all I gotta say. I'm out. Have a better one.